Welcome, friends of ABAC. Since 1965, Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College has had the privilege of presenting faculty, staff, and administrative awards during its Spring Honors Day. In 2020, it was a different story. COVID caused us to cancel the Spring Honors Day program. So I thank you for joining us today as we present the awards that would normally have been presented in April of 2020. Join me in congratulating these ABAC employees for their service to ABAC and her students.
As the recipient of this award last year, it is my pleasure to present this year's 2020 Roy R. Jackson Award for Staff Excellence. This award is in memory of Roy R. Jackson Sr. The recipient of this award must have completed at least 10 years of continuous full-time service to ABAC. Award criteria states that the staff member must be dependable, loyal, reliable, and one who contributes to the growth and development of the college beyond the call of duty. This year's recipient has been a devoted member of the ABAC staff for over 14 years, and as many would agree, epitomizes the dedication and high standards of the Roy Jackson Award for Staff Excellence. One colleague writes that the recipient has a true concern and willingness to help others, even though many tasks performed are done behind the scenes. Students, faculty, and staff, as well as the college administration, depend on the recipient's valuable knowledge on USG statistical reporting, integrated post-secondary education data system, national student clearinghouse data, directory information requests, and open records requests. At the end of every term, this recipient collects, organizes, reports, and distributes course evaluations. This is a monstrous job for one person. However, the compiled data's end result is accurate and well organized. Another staff member declares this year's recipients will take on any task requested, from compiling information for iPads to organizing digital files for a SACS report, always asking questions to be sure he is doing what is needed while maintaining a cheerful, can-do attitude. Often work extends beyond the department, and as one administration writes, for the Office of Multicultural Programs, this employee has been of assistance in completing yearly reports for both the U.S. Department of Education and the Board of Regents. The recipient is always patient in reviewing information with other staff to ensure that we submit accurate information. Is thorough and available for questions, always helpful and courteous, and always remembers to wish me a happy birthday every year. Another colleague notes this about the employee: the vast knowledge and experience goes beyond institutional research in ABAC, as he served as a member of the United States Air Force from 1977 to 1981. Our previous jobs and educational trainings have evolved into a jack of all trades. In addition to his service to ABAC, this year's recipient gives back to the community and is very active at St. Anne's Episcopal Church and the church outreach programs. Also being very active with Relay for Life. In Tift County, this employee serves on the board and takes part in planning for the huge Relay for Life event all year round, often working many hours on site the week of the event, performing the manual work necessary to make it happen. This year's recipient works and gives himself without any fanfare. ABAC is blessed to have him in a vast array of knowledge and service he provides. It is with great honor and privilege that we recognize and commend this year's recipient for his dedication to ABAC, his family, and community. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Roy Jackson Award for Staff Excellence from the Office of Technology Services, Administrative Assistant, Mr. Clayton Riley.
The W. Bruce and Rosalind Ray Donaldson Excellence in Advising Award for 2020. The criteria for the W. Bruce and Rosalind Ray Donaldson Excellence in Advising Award include strong interpersonal skills, a caring attitude toward advisees, mastery of institutional regulations, policies, and procedures, the ability to engage in career and life planning versus simply course scheduling, and availability to advisees. Other factors in considering this recognition include peer perception of a nominee's advising skills and student advisee feedback. This recognition includes a monetary award and commemorative plaque and was first presented at the 2000 Honors Day ceremony. Current ABAC students, faculty, and staff are asked to send their nominations for this award, and those selected are then invited to submit materials in support of their nomination. A committee made up of faculty, staff, and students review all submissions, and scores are tallied to select a winner. This year's recipient's advising philosophy contains this wisdom. Although I am an experienced and successful academic advisor, I'm still learning, as I believe every advisor should do. Dealing with the technical side of advising is the easy part, but dealing with students and their individual needs is an ongoing process. A peer shares these examples. The office door is always open to advisees and students. I have seen this recipient schedule advisement appointments at 7 a.m. and at 7 p.m. to accommodate students' needs. She goes on to say that before she began advising, the recipient was open to share resources and allow me to sit in to experience an advisement session, always careful to take time with each advisee, listen to their concerns and needs, and work to create a successful game plan for their time at ABAC. Another peer states this recipient strikes an excellent balance of authority, academic knowledge, care, and encouragement, using very helpful and illustrative forms that assist the students in understanding, contextualizing, and refining vital information about their chosen academic pathway. As one advisee shares, my advisor accommodates and assists advisees with all that is needed, whether it be an hour or longer advisement session, me sitting in the office stressing and worried about the future and having wonderful advice and knowledge there to allow me to leave with a smile on my face and confidence in myself again. The employee school dean describes the recipient as a very dedicated and respected faculty member who takes the time to discuss the advisee's goals and aspirations, which help better recommend courses. He is committed to his students' success. This year's recipient provides stellar advising while maintaining a higher than average advisee load for both the department and school, and duties which include traveling off campus to observe student teachers in the classroom at least 3 times a semester. He earned his EDD in Career, Technical, and Agricultural Education, a Master of Education in Agricultural Education, and a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture from the University of Georgia. Please join me in congratulating this year's W. Bruce and Rosalind Ray Donaldson Excellence in Advising Award winner from the School of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Associate Professor of Agricultural Education, Dr. Frank Flanders. the W. Bruce and Rosalind Ray Donaldson Award for Excellence in Student Engagement for the year 2020. Today we present the W. Bruce and Rosalind Ray Donaldson Award for Excellence in Student Engagement for the 4th time. The spirit and purpose of this award is to publicly recognize one faculty member each year who engages in meaningful ways with students at ABAC. This relatively new award celebrates and rewards faculty who excel in mentoring students through interdisciplinary collaborations, innovative projects, internship opportunities, undergraduate research, or other academic enrichment experiences that engage students actively in the learning process. To be eligible for consideration for this reward, a faculty member must be in a full-time tenured or tenured-track position with 2 or more years of continuous service for the college. Nominations for this award are made by faculty, students, and alumni. The nominees submit information packets describing their student engagement work and supporting documentation. A committee comprised of faculty and students review and score each submission, and scores are tallied to select the recipient, who is honored with a recognition plaque and a monetary award. This year's award recipient has provided multiple experiences both in and outside of the classroom to help students prepare for their future careers. These experiences included coordinating mock job reviews for students with professionals in the field. This recipient has designed several field exercises across the curriculum, locally and throughout the state, and in cooperation with multiple professions to expose students to the realities of their chosen career path. Not only do the recipient students present their research findings to their peers, they also present one-on-one to this faculty mentor for constructive feedback to ensure a polished final presentation. The recipients' activities also include hosting and participating in the Georgia State chapter of the Wildlife Society multiple times during the tenure at ABAC. The recipients' activities also include hosting and participating in the Georgia State chapter of the Wildlife Society multiple times during his tenure at ABAC, as well as attendance at professional conferences at least twice a year, where students are encouraged to participate. All these activities involving students actively engaged in professional development support the award criteria of leading mentoring activities that encourage career and professional development, which allows students to build their professional networks. This year's award recipient uses grants to support and enhance students' research experiences, collaborating on a multidisciplinary grant proposal for wild elephant tracking, co-authoring a grant for equipment upgrade in the first year on the job, and writing 2 successful grant proposals for the Gail Dillard Faculty Enrichment Fund. Described by the department head as an innovator and a leader ever since he arrived at ABAC in 2011, this year's recipient routinely includes local and overnight field trips in courses. He also developed a study abroad course in the Department of Natural Resources, taking a group of students to Costa Rica in 2018 to experience tropical ecosystems and international conservation methods. This year's recipient earned a BS in Wildlife Resources from the University of Idaho, an MS in Forest Resources, and a PhD in Wildlife Management from the University of Georgia. Please join me in congratulating this year's winner in the School of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Associate Professor of Wildlife, Dr. Jason Scott.
But I want you to know and to be aware that you were nominated for one of the Faculty Awards of Excellence. And tomorrow, had you been here on campus, we would have had a video script of Ms. Rosalind Donaldson reading a script that eventually would have gotten to your name and announcing that you were the winner of one of the Faculty Awards of Excellence, in this case, the one for student engagement. And because we do
Getting goosebumps over here.
Huh? Well,
I'm
good.
getting goosebumps over here.
We're really excited for you, and we know that you have worked very hard in engaging students in a number of ways, not only in the classroom, but in the things that you do with students outside the classroom, the various field trips that you've taken them on, the various senior projects that you've been involved with for a number of years, and the way that you've designed those courses to really help students develop and be ready to go into the workplace when they graduate. Your involvement with trying to improve the writing skills and speaking skills and so forth of your students, all is a part of the way you've engaged with the students. And so it's a very deserving recognition of your participation with our students and helping them to develop. So Dr. Bridges and I both want to congratulate you. Dr. Bridges, if you have any other comments, I have one more closing comment to make before we get off.
Well, Jason, congratulations. We certainly do appreciate what you do for students. You're one of those individuals who clearly understands that all learning doesn't occur in the classroom, and you devote a great deal of time to making sure that students learn what they need to learn.
The W. Bruce and Rosamond Ray Donaldson Award for Teaching Excellence for 2020. The W. Bruce and Rosamond Ray Donaldson Award for Teaching Excellence is a continuation of a tradition of faculty recognition which began in 1965. The purpose of this prestigious award is to publicly recognize superior instruction and exemplary service to the college by honoring one faculty member each year as chosen by a committee of faculty and student representatives. The recipient is honored with a recognition plaque and a monetary award. In order to be eligible for consideration for the Donaldson Teaching Award, a faculty member must be in a full-time tenured or tenure-track faculty position with 5 or more years of continuous service to the college. The process begins when faculty nominate one or more of their peers from each school. Once the nominees have submitted informational packets, the selection committee has the difficult task of reviewing the packets, ranking these outstanding faculty members, and submitting a confidential vote to determine the finalists. In a letter of recommendation written for this year's recipient, the school dean describes this employee as an outstanding faculty member who is committed to the mission of the department, school, and college. This theme runs throughout student evaluations, describing the recipient as an innovative teacher, very knowledgeable, cares about students, and passionate about course topics. An enthusiastic student evaluation declares, "I was dreading this class only because of the content, but you made it so interesting and fun." This year's award recipient centers the teaching approach around enthusiasm. This includes setting boundaries, acknowledging different learning styles, and encouraging involvement. All these elements are ineffective without enthusiasm. I set a high standard for the students and make that known to them, but I believe that my enthusiasm also helps them to sincerely want to meet that standard. A peer recommendation states that one quality that the recipient is particularly good at creating in students is confidence. Building confidence in students is not easy in analytically heavy classes, but the approach of providing examples, guest speakers, and hands-on labs allows the student to relate to the content. Before students realize it, they're solving problems they thought were out of reach. As one student writes, "I've always heard it takes one educator to spark a passion in the eyes of their students, and for me, this could not be more evident." This recipient has become a role model, mentor, and pivotal part of my success at ABAC and outside of ABAC. By this instructor providing constant support and encouragement for me to succeed in whatever I put my hand to, helped me find my niche in career interests going forward. This year's recipient holds a Master of Science and a PhD in Biosystems and Agricultural Engineering from Oklahoma State University and is taught at ABAC for the past 5 years. It gives me great pleasure to present the W. Bruce and Rosalind Ray Donaldson Award for Teaching Excellence in the School of Agriculture and Natural Resources to Associate Professor of Agricultural Engineering, Dr. Erin Porter.
Congratulations on winning the ABAC's most prestigious faculty award.
Good afternoon. Although this is not the date, time, nor venue, I'm very pleased to be able to share with you some very exciting news. Established in 1973, the purpose of the E. Lanier Carson Leadership Award is to recognize leadership contributions of an ABAC administrator who is not eligible for one of the faculty or staff awards. Each year, the recipient is selected by a campus-wide committee. Early life experiences helped shape this year's recipient in many ways, including developing a strong work ethic, understanding the importance of building authentic relationships, and valuing a college education as a first-generation college student. These experiences contribute to the recipient's ability and desire to build a successful career in higher education and at ABAC. The recipient's daily work focuses on helping students, faculty, and staff gain and have access to the resources that support and enhance their academic and cultural pursuits. Employed at ABAC since 2015, this year's recipient exemplifies a great passion for work and states, I quote, "Every day I am given the opportunity to be part of an organization where the work we do is transforming lives," end of quote. Striving to be a leader in creating a culture of philanthropy across the ABAC family, the recipient wants to be someone viewed as a team player, hard worker, supporter, encourager, innovative thinker, and planner, and has achieved this view among her ABAC peers. The results of the recipient's significant contributions are a good indicator of the efforts made on behalf of ABAC. The recipient is responsible for all aspects of development at ABAC, from annual giving to major gifts. That includes planned gifts and stewardship and the supervision of 2 fellow staff members, while playing a key role in supporting the work of the ABAC Foundation Board of Trustees. Under the direct leadership and involvement of the recipient, fundraising totals have increased each of the last 3 years. Perhaps the most visible contribution to ABAC is the increased overall fundraising, now $2.2 million during this recipient's tenure. ABAC has led the USG State College sector in overall fundraising and is above the average of the USG State University sector. The recipient develops and implements a strategic fundraising plan each year. Sponsorships for an evening for ABAC, ABAC Presents, and the ABAC Rodeo have all increased, as have participation rates in the Give Back to ABAC, Faculty and Staff Annual Giving Campaign, and the Graduation Giving Program, both programs initiated by the recipient. This year's recipient earned a bachelor's degree, Communication and Home Economics, from Berry College, a master's in Communication from Georgia State University, and her education doctorate in Curriculum and Instruction from the University of South Carolina. Please join me in showing our appreciation and support to this year's E. Lanier Carson Leadership Award for College Administrators in the Office of College Advancement, Chief Development Officer, Dr. Deidre Martin.
We thank you very much.